Hey guys, here, welcome to the GTA 5 Car v Car episode 2 of the Feltzer going against the Jester. This will be the final comparison with the Feltzer against other sports cars. Of course, we'll be moving on to the sports cars that we yet still haven't covered. I've got a massive to-do list, sort of a checklist that I'm sort of covering right now in order. That's probably why you're seeing sort of me covering one particular car with every other sports cars before we sort of move on till we're done, sort of. So hopefully that's alright with you guys, and we get everything done before next gen. And I suppose nothing will be changing next gen for performances, but if anything does happen, I'll keep you guys updated. And of course, I'll probably have to recreate these episodes, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. But it will be pretty cool to see any sort of changes to the cars for the next gen. I suppose they can do more with these cars with the power they have. So anyway, when we're comparing both these cars, actually, it comes down mainly to preference because they're extremely close to each other in certain ways, extremely well balanced as well with their performances. With availability, there's more available with the Jester than the Feltzer. We'll get to that in a bit. But when we're talking about handling, the turning ratio is extremely amazing for the Jester compared to the Feltzer. And for efficiency and comfortability, of course, we'd want to go with the Jester. For handling, it's just absolutely amazing with traction and downforce. The only downside to it, I suppose, is the top speed, as you will see here. Acceleration is pretty damn awesome as well, so you get a nice sort of flow around the corner. But I suppose the skill gap and sort of getting used to a car, you'd get used to the Jester more quickly than the Feltzer. The Feltzer does take some time to get used to. You got to sort of understand the car and really sort of perfect it and mini-max it with maximum potential. But the Jester is all-round car for anyone with any sort of skill level to get used to, as an extremely easy car to use. But if you perfect the Feltzer, then of course you'll sort of slightly edge with the car, but it does ask quite a bit more than the Jester itself when it comes to the driver. So you see here, you know, currently Jester's dominating too well with the acceleration and handling. But, you know, the Feltzer will have a better top speed, even though on the website and statistics state that the Jester's got amazing top speed. For some reason, that's not the case. Jester's actually got one of the worst top speeds out of this category within sports. I'm not sure why, but I imagine if the stats were actually true, the Jester would absolutely dominate every other sports cars if that was the case with his top speed. But hey, see there, it doesn't. So of course, the Jester itself's got more torque than the Feltzer. And for damage test, it's interesting as well. Feltzer, of course, $327 we know to repair for the initial impact. But Jester is actually $390, even though there's hardly any visual impact there with the damage. But for some reason, it always costs $390 to repair for the Jester. But for customizable options, the Jester will always dominate. The Feltzer's got 11 options in total. The Jester has over 20. This car is actually one of the most customizable options in the game. It's crazy because it was kind of unexpected, and the amount of options you got, is, the variety that you have to make this car as unique as possible for yourself and preference is ridiculous. Hopefully there will be more cars in the future like this. I heard there's going to be a brand new DLC sometime soon next week, so hopefully the new cars will be coming out to sort of the modifications and whatnot. I'll be obviously comparing that as well, so stay tuned for that. Now we're coming down to sort of the final test, the best lap time test, and this is where it's going to get interesting because both these cars are really close. You can see here it's very hard to tell apart who's dominating at this very moment. But one thing you'll notice is that the Jester itself takes these corners really well, but the problem is the flow isn't great compared to the Feltzer. The Feltzer sort of carries more speed around the corner, slightly edging with its turning ratio, but turning circle is definitely more dominant with the Jester. But you see here, you know, the Feltzer is obviously a heavy sports car, so it's going to stick to the ground more, so you're going to get extra sort of grip and speed around corners, and sort of any sort of slight little bumps and whatnot, you're going to benefit with the Feltzer than the Jester. The Jester is a slightly light car, so lighter than the Feltzer, of course. So you're going to get a slightly more airtime around little bumps and whatnot, which will benefit the car. So overly speaking, on this particular track, the Feltzer will take it just about. Look how close these lap times were though. But overly speaking, the Jester has more available with his car than the Feltzer. However, the Feltzer's performance is slightly edge over the Jester. So it's definitely down to preference at the end of the day. Let me know in the comments below which one you guys prefer out of those two cars. I personally prefer the Feltzer. I'm used to the car, fully understand how it works. Of course, Feltzer Vs Jester the Feltzer is on the screen right now, available to click on and check out the previous episode. Compare those two cars. I'll see you guys soon. If you guys found this video useful, be sure to hit the like button. I'd be greatly appreciated. And of course, subscribe for more GTA 5 content. I'll see you guys soon. Check it soon now. Good night. Peace. Yeah.